What's up YouTube, it's HarderYG and today I'll be showing you guys my yummy deck profile post Duel with the new support. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's get into the deck profile. So first we're gonna start off with the main deck. I got the Nib, the Striker, and the Snatchy Field Center. So let's start off with the main deck of course. We're gonna start off with the new card from Duel Dimensions. 3 copies of Marshmallow Yummy. So this card's basically like a Cyber Dragon, but you have to activate it from hand chaining 1. And if all monsters you have a light beast, you can spell summon it. And when it's normal spell summoned, you can add a Yummy spell and trap from your graveyard to your hand, or if you summon off a Synchro monster, you can place a field spell from the banished or deck into the field zone. So it helps with the recyclability now. Back when we had SP banish our field spell, you can use this to recover it. And now you only need to run 1 copy of the quick play spell now, which is great, because you can just recycle it. Next we go of course 3 copies Yummy. This one's just Rhoda, and you can draw a card if it's Reborn of a Synchro. Free Cookie. This one lower face up attack position by 1000. Pop a card instead if it's Reborn of a Synchro monster. Next we got 3 Lollipop Yummy. This one basically shuffle back a card in the graveyard, or if you're summoned off a Synchro monster effect, you can banish instead, so it becomes like DD Crow. And these they're Cupsy and Lollipops. They can summon themselves off hand inherently if you control Link 1 or level 2 Synchro monster. That's it for the Yummy main deck monsters. Now let's get into the hand traps. I'm running 3 copies of Effect Veiler. Veiler is pretty good, especially against decks like Draco Tail. Like you can negate the Alfarion for recyclability of the effect. It can be good against the mirror match if they only have the Strike Engine and don't summon any Yummies, so you can hit like the Cups of Yummy way. It's good against Raizel, like hitting the Eyes, Dual Drive, and X and stuff. 50-50 against Malice if they don't have the set, it's great. You can also use it against like against like Mitsurugi, you can hit like the Murakumo if they already use Praise that turn. But they might have Magatama, so you have to keep in mind for that. It's also kind of awful generic. Next we got 3 copies of Ash Blossom, of course, nice QCRs that I picked up recently. Basically hit the more Charmies. Can hit the Draco Tail spell and trap. Can hit the Prayers against Mitsurugi. Can also hit the Ritual if the Ritual from deck. Hits Raizu of course, like the Eyes and Dual Drive and X and stuff. Overall generic. Mandatory to run in every deck. Next we got 3 copies of Ghost Spell. This one of course has a good application against the Draco Tail matchup. Problem with this card is that it negates activation, so it's pretty bad against Mitsurugi variants, because if you use this to negate their prayers, they can just activate another one from hand. Kinda wish this card had the exact same as Ash Blossom when it negates the effect, but they sadly didn't do it with this card, which is pretty frustrating. Well yeah, you can hit the graveyard effects at least if they don't have a chain block. You can use it against Malice of course, for like splash mage. Never mind, not splash mage. Like on max underground. White binder. And vanquish soul, you can hit the rock or the vanquisher. The K9 lantern. That's pretty much what I have to say about the card. You can also hit Cold Water Grave. And it's good against the mirror match because you can negate the surprise and the tag out effects of all the Synchros. And minion as well. Next we got 3 copies of Mode Charm Full Loss. Generic, best Mode Charm in the game currently. So you need to main this. And you can just normal summon it and make Out Mirage for like Link photo, or you can just discard it for discard photo if you have Cup to Yamiway. It's mid. It's alright against Troubadour. You can draw like 1 or 2 cards. It's really good. It's pretty good against Yami because now they only have you get like 2 draws at least, because they're gonna have to have like 2 Snatchy and like at least 1 level 1 in the end board. It's overall a pretty good card. Next for the main deck spells, that's it for the main deck monsters. I'm running 3 copies of Engage and 1 Hornet Drones for the Striker package because it's basically like a 1.5 card starter, or maybe a 1 card starter. Yeah, probably 1 card starter I guess. But you still need this card with the drones as well, because it helps you play better into target hand traps like Veil and Infinite Permanence. Next you got the One of Obedience School. Now it's limited to 1. This card's pretty good if you open it, but I actually don't like this card because it locks into beasts, so you play hard into Nibiru. And full loss as well. It's very annoying when they full loss you. As Shelling to happen to me like a lot of times. Next you got 1 for 1 as another consistency card. Port of Prosperity for more consistency. Nice starter I picked up recently. 1 minion, 1 Acrocur and 1 surprise. Minions boost attack 500 for each. Light Beast, Reborns, Acrocur pops. Monster leaves the field popper cards, so it's better into Nibiru. Surprise, Reborn, Bounce, or Return. But now we just run 1 now because back when we run 2 is very annoying. I'm glad we only run 1 now because thanks to Marshmallow. That's it for the main deck spells. Now let's get into the main deck traps. Running 3 copies of Infinite Permanence and 3 copies of Dominus Purge. Imperm, hit everything, very good generic, you can use it in your turn if you want as well. Purge, another counter for the Troubadour matchup. The more chummies, maybe like the grind. Can hit Kopsuyami way, Kopsuyami in the mirror match. Mitsurugi is pretty good. You negate the prayers because it negates the effect, which is nice. But problem is just the fire, dark and water restrictions, so it conflicts from your SP Little Knight, Typhon and Kagari, so it's pretty annoying in that circumstance, but you still have to run this card. So that's it for the main deck. 40 cards. I used to play 45, but I don't think Pro is good anymore, and we took out the 2 obedience schools, so now we're down to 40, and I already cut Ogres to the side deck now. So that's it for the main deck. Now let's get into extra deck. I'm running 3 copies of Yummy Snatchy. This one you just use it for all our Light Beast monster. If you spell summon, you place a Yummy Field spell. but you're restricted from link 3 of higher monsters. And then once build change during the main phase, or opponent's battle phase, you can pay 100 to quick synchro, so it plays better until like Veil, Impen, and Newton, because this is the main phase. Next, Suko SP Leonite. This is for banishing the field spell in the mirror match, which I've done before, and my opponent in like dueling book, they only managed to get that. They managed to play through it because they had the Star Ham in the extra deck. But yeah, you can also hit like the quick play spell in the mirror match, so they have no way to recycle it ever again. And it's just good for like breaking boards. Or a nice interrupt if you have more bodies. Yes, you got Ukama no Mitsun and Onari. This one basically set the quick play reuse marshmallow effect that turn, and your opponent cannot target your field spell card effects. And if it gets destroyed, depending on the amount of field spells on the field, you burn for 15 or you destroy a card in the field non-target. Okay, so one Kagari, add back your Hornet runs for the combo. Link Spider, so you gotta link one body when you get Nibiru'd. Mirage you make with any generic hand trap to link off. Typhon to bounce anything, and because you're playing a hand trap deck, it's good for bouncing because you run a lot of hand traps in this deck. One Herald of Arclight as an Omni Negate, because it's limited now and you still need it, because if you stick with this against Ricochet, it's basically floodgate for them, which I did last week when I was playing this deck, where my opponent just keep banishing the resources. I can't break my board because I got Herald Arclight. Next we got Master Meta Matcha. This one's for the combo to get your Arclight, of course. Star Ham is better if you're already into the Beast Lock Obedience School, and you can use this as like a last resort if your field spells are banished, and then you can reborn the Marshmallow and then place back the banished field spell. And the last three, of course, is Cups Yamiwe, Cookie Yamiwe, and Lollipop Yamiwe. Lollipop is the reborn, Cookie is the book, and Cups is the rotor. And they also can like tag out if your opponent activates the card effect, it bounces itself and then reborn up to 2 giant monsters. And you can treat any link one as synchro material. So that's it for the extra deck 15, of course. Now let's get into the side deck. I'm running 3 copies of DD Crow and 3 Draw. These 6 basically is for like Mitsurugi. Crow is the best one. Crow is good if your opponent's like use prayers to tribute for cost. You can chain the DD Crow, banish it, and then it won't trigger. Or you can draw it as a 6th card and your opponent tries to pray is. You can just chain Crow to banish the Mirakuma from graveyard. So yeah, and then the mirror match, of course, it can be good because you can, if these Marshmallow effect add back the quick play spell, you can chain Crow, banish the quick play spells. That way they can't recover it. Can hit minion as well. Can be good again. It's like that's alright against like Draco Tail, for example. You can use this, banish the Alfarion target. Memento, Crystron, K9, Mermail, like any deck that has like graveyard reliance stuff, you just put this in. Because usually these would be the Meows, but I don't play. I'm trying to test about the Meows and Pulias for this format, and it's alright, I guess. Because problem is like the Meows and Pulias are really bad against like Mitsurugi, and Mitsurugi is your worst matchup when you're playing pure Yami or any Yami variants, so you need cards like this to counter that matchup. you can also hit Lupus as well in your turn. And there's a reason why, because I'm running a card that's gonna trigger it in my side deck. Now I got 3 copies of Ghost Ogre and 3 copies of Retaliating Sea for the other hand traps I'm running. So Ogre hits the mirror match, cost a field spell when they use when they only have like Snatch on board, changes to pop it. Can hit the Vanquish Soul's field spell, Vanquish Soul start against Vanquish Soul. Can hit Malulu and Cartesia against Dracotail. Can hit the turtle in Mitsurugi. I never put this in for Mitsurugi. It doesn't feel great, but you can hit like the Masquerena, for example. Retaliating Seas for Dracotail, of course. Ogre can also be good against Lunalight, like popping like any of the pendulum effect monsters. Retaliating Sea can also be good against like any fusion deck most of the time it's for. So of course like Memento, Dracotail we're talking about, Lunalight as well. So yeah, that's what I have to say about these 6. All of like the 12 hand traps in my side deck are specifically for like niche matchups where my main deck hand traps might not be as effective against them. And the last card in my side deck is 3 copies of Sangan. So basically, this is like the pre-order version I have. It's a nice table pack. I picked this up in the morning. I was playing with like rares last week because these finally came in the mail this week. It's pre-order, so it says add any 1500 low attack monster, but the new order says you can activate the effect. So basically, this can be a one. This is basically a number 1 card starter. So what I do is usually I start at 4 loss and put these in. And you just normal this, make the Almirage, and then you can search for either any of like your yummy monsters, so you can make still the same combo, but you can't activate that effect. So I usually add like Cookie or Lollipop, because you know you're probably not going to use them turn 1. And the cool part about this is it can also search any hand trap that I'm running in the side and main deck. So you can search crows, trolls, ogres, Retaliating Seas, 4 loss C1, Bell, Ash, and Vela. So you can search all of the hand traps you're running. And the great part about this is if we're up against any specific matchup where it's very devastating, we put them in going first. So if we're up against Mitsurugi, we'll put in the draws and the Sangans. So then you can search the draw. Dracotail, you can search Retaliating Sea, which is why I put it in, because I realized it's 1400 attack. So it's very creative. And I saw a guy who goes to my locals and he did it. He showed his deck list on the Yummy group and he was playing Sangan. So I was like, oh okay, I'll go buy a set of turbo packs now. So yeah, I've been trying it. It's a very good card. Only problem with this card is it plays more harder into 4 loss, unfortunately, because you're gonna have to give me a free draw, because the only material you can use this basic for Almirage. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind with this card. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile. Let's do some special considerations I have for this deck. my special considerations the side frame package. So it's 3 delta, 1 gamma, 1 driver, omega and lambda. So this is the idea that Lorenzo, the guy who won Euro this year, European Championship this year, so he tried this in like a top 64 list. It's pretty creative, looks spicy. So basically he ran these because delta is basically like a spell and trap negate, so it's good against Mitsurugi because you use this for the Mitsurugi ritual. Probably never for the prayers because it negates activation. And gamma of course can hit like any like generic monster that you want to hit. And the cool part about this is with lambda, because it's a generic link to it that requires 2 monsters. You can activate double check. Yeah, you can activate any of these 4 from hand if you have it on field. So in your end board, you just use 2 of your bodies to end on lambda with like the snatchy, the arclight, and the lollipop. I think I haven't tried the combo yet, but I think that's how it works. And then you usually make that if you have these 4, of course. If you don't have these 4, don't make it. But yeah, so it makes it more powerful going first as well. Because if you're up against Mitsurugi and you have this and stuff, you can just use the delta and negate the prayers, so they won't get the Mirakuma on field. They will make it harder for them to get there, and then you just use the Arcline field to negate again. And then omega of course is if you're going first and you manage to use these on your turn 1, you can just make omega, rip a card, and then do your combos from there. So yeah, pretty nice card. I'm definitely gonna try this out this weekend. And basically you have to cut Veiler Obedient School in 1 font if you want to fit this package in, unfortunately, because they have horrible confliction with Obedient School. Well, you get like 4 copies of like a high impact card, so it's pretty decent trade-off, I guess. And omega, if it gets sent to graveyard, can recycle any monster. So if you already use an Arclight, for example, and it's in the graveyard, you can put both back into extra deck. So you can recycle your Arclight, which is pretty nice. Next, we have 3 copies of Burst Mono and Moonlit Chill. This one basically is like a 3rd Veil Imperm. Use this, hit like the Alfarion, for example, if they want like recycle stuff. Basically the same application as talking about Veil Imperm, but problem with this card is it's really bad when you're going second, because it actually when in your turn. So because it becomes a chaining 1, however in the OCG it's a chaining 2. It's stupid, but it should be like the OCG here, but I don't know why they haven't made like that, because I played this in Master Duel and it's so nice. So now we got 3 copies of Haunt Taxi. This one basically, if your opponent normal spells has monster, you summon to their field and they have to use this material, or they can't use any of like the extra deck locked. So yeah, but I feel like this card's gonna worse recently because people are running like generic Link 2s in the extra deck nowadays. It was good last format, but now people have like an extra space to put in the extra deck, so they put like Haggard or Lambda. Next we got 3 Prulia and 3 Meows. Prulia is just for hand decks, the hand spams. Meows for graveyard decks, so So I'll put Pearl maybe for like Phantom Knight, for example, Razio, Malice, maybe Mirror Match. It can be good because now Marshmallow is another hand special summon. Meow is good for like Memento, Mermail, Malice. So yeah, they're good cards, but because Mitsurugi is there, I don't want to play them anymore for this format. Maybe Mitsurugi leaves, I'll put them back in. Freelancer, of course. This one for like Crystron, K9, Malice, Necroface Burn, which I have someone locals playing that, so I always put these in. So any like Banish Reliant deck, you put this in. You can. This is also decent against like Branded as well, because like the Retribution, add back, they can't do that, they can't do Albion, and that deck got a second Branded Fusion, so probably keeping one, maybe put these in. You can use against the Dragon Maid deck, because one of their monsters like banishes to make like a negate, I think. Against Gem Knights, they can't use the monster negate, Omni negate graveyard effect, and you can use it against Orcus to shut down their graveyard. Next, I got 3 Fantastical Dragon Phantasma and 3 copies of Nibiru the Primal Being. Phantasma recycle if you're going by any Link deck, like Malice, the Mirror Match. Nibiru, of course, paired with like any hand trap mix, just decimates the board. Well, I don't like in this variant because we need a way to get rid of it, because there's conflictions with Engage and being scored. So this card, I usually only run this in the Mitsurugi variant, because I can just tribute my board and then my Mitsurugi monsters will trigger on field. That's the only time I'll probably put them in. That's it for the monsters for the special considerations. Now let's get into the spells. 3 Frost, 1 Talent, 1 Cross Out, and 1 Combat for like the anti-hand traps. So Frost can set you like Sword and stuff. You can set any of like your turn ending traps per side if you get like more charming. Called by Talent Cross Out cost the one of broken cards that you need for going first. You can put this in for going second, of course, as well. But yeah, probably maybe this one's still going second, but not Cross Out, because it feels weaker, because you have to put like a target that you might not even want to put in, and you might draw it and it just becomes a liability. It's got 3 Droplet. So Droplet basically it can be good in the mirror match, of course, negating like the snatches and heralds and stuff, but you also have to burn some of your cards in hand. So I only recommend this if you're playing like a full breaker deck. Next, you got 1 Harpy's Feather Duster and 3 Lightning Storm is for like back row decks. If your locals has full back row matchups, you just put these in first side and blow up their board. For an evening match, very similar to Storm, but this one probably like the best board break in the current format, because most decks don't have Omni anymore, so you just put this in battlefield, banish the entire board. Because even like the Mitsurugi Yummy deck, most people wouldn't even run the Great Purification anymore, because sometimes we don't have like a way to get the additional search for it. But yeah, this card's like very good. It decimates like almost every matchup, even like Draco Tail, because their trap isn't trap negate as well. It's just only a spell negate. And against Yami, just banish the entire board if you get rid of their Arclight, because they crushes their resource a lot, because they have to get their field spell banished maybe, or just keep it. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that card. We got Blacker Loves, Magic Deflector, Different Dimension Ground, Deep Barrier, and Sanctum. As like your Frost target, Sanctum of course gets your Lancia, Deflector, negate quick play, field spell continuous. It has kind of conflictions with a board, but it can be good against like a for example like Striker, the new Magic Typhoon deck, because you use quick play spells, so you just flip this and then negate this stuff, and it's really bad for them to like break your board. They're gonna have these like the storms and evenings and stuff, so they might not be able to OTK that turn because their linkage, for example, is a quick play. Blackguards, you just declare any card name if you know like when to hit it. That's like the fear of this card. I don't like this card because I have to know specifically the scenario to use it, and I need to learn the knowledge about like what every matchup is. Because you know, of course this card's like good against Yami, just call Yami Snatch. It's like no brainer, but however, if you gotta get like, also like Draco Tail, called Draco Tail of Pharaoh, but against like a different matchup that you're not familiar with, it becomes a bit annoying to like put in. Grounds for like the Graveyard Reliant decks like Memento, Mirror Match. Barriers for like Mirror Match, Draco Tail, Mitsurugi as well, because it's richer as well, very nice. So 5 of these cards are good. The 4 of them are devastating, and 1 of them just depending on the matchup, right? It can be devastating in like specific matchup. Next you got Anti-Spell Fragrance, Solemn Judgment, Strike, and Warning. Warning strikes are good, of course. Kind of upset that they hit this to 1 now, because now I don't even want to run the rest of them because they get destroyed by backrow completely. Anti-spell is for like flipping it up against like a breaker deck like Strike and stuff, and they have to like set like the storms. But if they're Cosmic Evil match is really bad for you. Judgment just generically hits everything. Strikes for like hand traps, any spare summons, warnings for any normal summon, or like the fusion spells, but it gets activation so they can activate another one from hand. That's pretty much it all I have to say about the deck profile. So that's pretty much it for the deck profile. Next video is gonna have like the locals video with this build of the Yami deck, and then the next video is gonna be with the Cyphering cards, and I'll give you like a picture of the deck list at the end of the video for that one. So make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And the next video is gonna be on Yami Mitsurugi, then Draco Tail, either Magisters or like the pure one, but I feel like I want to go with more Magisters because like I get like a monster negate and that Snatch Steal. So that's pretty nice and standard boring board where you only have like no negates except your traps, but they can get like build, ashed, and purged, which is the weakness with that variant. So I'm probably leaning to more the Magister stuff. And then maybe Vanquish or K9 again. We'll revisit that with the new Saryuja stuff. Orcus K9 as well. I got the Orcus cards finally. Maybe Troubadour in the future. I think I'm missing a few cards to build that deck. I do have a Striker video I should make because I have like all the cards, and my Duel locals run with that as well because we got Lightning Storm as a 3rd copy now. So yeah, that's it for the video guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.